Whiskey Tango Foxtrot is directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa, which you would know from a couple years ago's Crazy Stupid Love and last year's Focus, movies I really enjoyed. And it stars Tina Fey, Margot Robbie, Martin Freeman, tons of people, lots of people in this movie. And it's a movie that I saw the trailers for, and I was semi-excited for. I didn't think that they looked amazing. I thought it looked like a pretty weird mix of comedy and drama, and I'll say that I was pleasantly surprised by this movie because it's not exactly a comedy and it's not exactly a drama. It really is the perfect mix of a dramedy, but most dramedies I think of are way more towards the dramatic side, where this one I feel is way more towards the comedic side, and I thought that they really pulled it off well here because the comedy in the movie is not over the top, it's not crazy, it's down-to-earth comedy, and that's really fresh to see from Tina Fey, because Tina Fey's always over the top and crazy, especially with Last Year's Sisters, which was just not a good movie. Seeing her in a more down-to-earth role was very just refreshing, and it was really cool to see her just play straight comedy, and her being not the crazy character. Other people were more crazy, and it was really cool to see her in this kind of role. The acting in the film I thought was all very well done. Tina Fey really blew me away here. It's maybe the best acting I've ever seen from her because she was just more reserved. She gave a more real performance because she's playing a real-life character, and I thought she did a fantastic job. Margot Robbie isn't in exactly much of the movie, but in what she is in there, she does a good job. Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins, is the one that blew me away. He's the standout of the film for me. I didn't think he'd be in much of the movie because he wasn't in much of the trailer, but he was in a good portion of the movie, and he blew me away. He was the scene stealer. Every scene he was in, he brought new life and energy and just so many jokes. He was the real comedic force of the film, I felt, and I thought he did a fantastic job. I loved Martin Freeman. I loved seeing him in everything, and he was so amazing in this movie. I was so happy to see that he had a bigger role than I thought, because the movie is basically about Tina Fey's character, who's a true-life character, and this is back in 2003, and the war's going on, obviously, with Iraq and all that stuff. And she's in a rut of her life. She works for this news place just behind the scenes, just writing these pieces that she doesn't care about. And because there's a war going on, she has the opportunity to go away for a couple of months. And so she takes the opportunity because she wants to change up her life. And so she goes away, and she ends up staying for a couple of years because being over there actually invigorates her, and it changes her life because she gets to be in front of the camera and actually gets to make a difference, and she likes the changes that happens to her, and you like watching it, and you really care about the characters. That's what I took most out of this film was, yeah, you know, it wasn't like that funny or anything, and yeah, it was boring, but man, I cared about those characters at the end. A lot of people might think it's just boring and it's drawn out or it's just not funny enough, especially people that want to just see a comedy. Know that it's not just a comedy. It's not just a Tina Fey regular comedy. She's not crazy over the top. She's a real character, and she gives a really good performance. And if you give it a chance to just surprise you a little bit and have a little bit of drama, I think it's an enjoyable film. I have to go with 3 out of 5 for Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I think that's what it's called. Weird title, but they somewhat explain it in the movie. But yeah, thumbs up for me for Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. It's a movie that I really ended up enjoying, and I could recommend it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, you can subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one.